The summer of 1962 in Chile was a glorious one. It was a year when the entire nation, despite having just suffered the devastating earthquake 2 years prior, rose up proudly with the immortal declaration, "Because we have nothing, we will do everything." In the summer of 1962, the Chilean national team wrote a great fairy tale, an incredible journey on their homeland. With a generation of exceptionally talented players and a fiery, sometimes aggressive, yet always courageous attacking style, they not only secured third place in the world, but also became an immortal part of the nation's memory. But behind those moments of glory, after the breathtaking victory against Yugoslavia in the third-place match, were individuals with very individual destinies. More than 60 years have passed. The dust of time has obscured many footprints, but their stories remain. Some have become immortal legends, some have chosen a quieter path, and others have had to end their journey in tragic lows. Let's look back at the tumultuous journey of the 22 heroes who formed the soul of Chile's golden generation in 1962. Luis Eizaguirre embodied certainty and elegance on the right wing. At the age of 22, the young player from Universidad de Chile played a full 540 minutes, not missing a single second, on the journey to the bronze medal. With his intelligent judgment and precise interventions like a surgeon, he left an indelible mark. Luis Eizaguirre's performance at the tournament was recognized worldwide, making him the only Chilean player to be called up to the World Stars squad that played at Wembley in 1963, alongside names like Lev Yashin and Ferenc Puskas. The nickname FIFO thus became synonymous with his life, a crown of pride. Following his resounding success at the 1962 World Cup, Eizaguirre's career continued to flourish with the Ballet Azul generation of Universidad de Chile, winning numerous national championships. He was not only a footballer but also an icon of unwavering loyalty and professionalism. After retiring, Luis chose a quiet life but remained closely involved with football as an advisor and youth coach. He dedicated much of his time to his family, living an exemplary life, avoiding the glitz and glamour of scandals. It seems the image of a silent hero shielding his teammates on the field perfectly embodied his real life. Today, long after his retirement, Luis Eizaguirre, at the age of 86, is living a peaceful life with his family in Santiago. His journey is a testament to relentless effort, a living legend who continues to inspire young defenders about the value of perseverance and gentlemanly qualities on the green pitch. Raul Sanchez was the most solid rock in the defense, protecting the goal with remarkable composure. At 28, he was at the peak of his career, possessing masterful game-reading ability and impeccable saves. Raul played the full 540 minutes, providing moral support for the entire team when facing the formidable attacking lines of Brazil and the Soviet Union. His performance demonstrated steely resolve, a silent hero who didn't need the glamour of goals but was the decisive factor in securing the historic bronze medal. After the tournament, Raul Sanchez's career was tied to Santiago Wanderers before moving to Everton de Viña del Mar. He is considered one of the best central defenders in Chilean football history, thanks to his scientific playing style and dignified demeanor. Raul's personal life was a peaceful flow. He chose a life away from the spotlight after retirement, dedicating time to his family and occasionally participating in local community activities. He is remembered by friends and colleagues as an upright, quiet man who always acted decisively. The connection between his role as the last line of defense on the field and his real life seemed to be intertwined with his destiny. He was the strongest support for his loved ones. However, that dignified journey came to an end after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease. On February 28, 2016, Raul Sanchez passed away at the age of 82. His legacy is not only one of heroic saves, but also a lesson in dedication and loyalty for future generations. Jorge Toro is the maestro in midfield, a talented midfielder with masterful tactical vision and thunderous long-range shots. At the age of 23, he has played 450 minutes and scored 2 crucial goals, including a spectacular strike against Brazil in the semi-finals. Jorge Toro's performances have been a dazzling display, making him a highly sought-after player by European scouts. He plays with intelligence and finesse, transforming every pass into a work of art on the green pitch. Following his resounding success at the World Cup, Jorge Toro made history as the first Chilean player to play in Italy for Sampdoria. He enjoyed brilliant years in Serie A before returning to his homeland to play for other major clubs. After retiring, Toro transitioned to coaching, dedicating himself to developing modern football thinking in the younger generation. His personal life has been a long and arduous journey. He has lived a rich life, actively participating in cultural and social activities. What is particularly noteworthy is the connection between his role as a playmaker on the field and his real life. He always sought to open new paths for his country's football. Today, after decades of ups and downs, Jorge Toro is battling another war, illness. However, on February 16, 2024, his journey came to an end at the age of 85. His passing is the latest somber note in the symphony of the 1962 Golden Generation, leaving behind a legacy of a genius mind that once electrified stadiums around the world. Eladio Rojas was the heart and soul of the midfield, a solid rock protecting the central area. With his ideal physique and fiery fighting spirit, he left an eternal mark with his legendary long-range goal against the legendary Lev Yashin and, most notably, the decisive 90-minute goal in the third-place match against Yugoslavia. At the age of 27, Eladio Rojas's performance was brilliant and full of character, making him a national hero in the eyes of millions of Chileans. He played with a burning heart and an unyielding will. Following his glorious 1962 season, Eladio's career took off internationally when he joined the prestigious River Plate club in Argentina. There, he continued to establish himself as a top-class defensive midfielder in South America. Eladio Rojas's personal life was one of humility. He lived a simple life, dedicating himself to charitable work and helping impoverished players in his hometown of Tierra Amarilla. It is said that he never boasted about his historic goals, always attributing them to the collective effort of the team. The connection between his role as a silent hero on the field and his real life seemed to be perfectly consistent. He was a warrior on the pitch and a kind-hearted man off it. However, that glorious journey came to a tragic end. On January 13, 1991, Eladio Rojas passed away at the age of 56 due to complications from liver disease. His untimely death left behind immense grief, but his legacy of golden goals will forever be a testament to an indomitable generation of Chileans. Carlos Contreras, affectionately known as Pluto by fans, was an indispensable part of Chile's impenetrable defense in 1962. At the age of 23, the young man possessed boundless energy and an unyielding fighting spirit. With his relentless pursuit of the ball and fearless tackling, he played a courageous 450 minutes, making a significant contribution to stopping the opposing team's top attacking stars. Carlos's performance at the age of 23 brilliantly demonstrated his precocious maturity and unwavering dedication. Pluto's career path after 1962 continued to be closely linked to the golden age of Universidad de Chile, where he, along with Luis Ezeguirre and Lionel Sanchez, formed one of the most solid defenses in South America. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching and left a significant mark in training young talents in the suburbs of Santiago. Contreras's personal life was quite simple. He was a cheerful man who always maintained an optimistic spirit in the face of life's difficulties. He devoted much of his energy to social charity work, using football as a tool to educate street children. What is thought-provoking is the strange contrast between a butcher on the field and a gentle, child-loving man in real life. However, this passionate journey came to a halt after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. On April 17, 2020, Carlos Contreras passed away at the age of 81. His death amidst the dark days of the pandemic left a deep sense of sadness, but the image of the tenacious Pluto on the pitch will forever remain a flame warming the hearts of Chilean football fans. Honorino Landa was the youngest member of Chile's official attacking line in 1962. At the age of 20, the young man displayed a fierce fighting spirit and incredible attacking prowess in his 439 minutes on the field. Despite receiving a red card in a tense match against Brazil, no one could deny Landa's talent and passion. He played with the instinct of a killer in the penalty box. He always ready to break through the most dangerous areas to create opportunities for his teammates. His performance at the age of 20 was an image of youthful ambition and fearlessness. After the World Cup, Landa's career continued with Unión Española, where he became a legendary top scorer. He was always loved by fans for his dedicated playing style and sincere personality. However, Honorino's personal life was a series of quiet, somber moments. He lived a secluded life, devoting much of his time to community football coaching after retiring early due to persistent injuries. It seems that the image of a fierce warrior on the field strangely mirrored his life in the opposite way. He became more contemplative and reflective about life. That promising journey came to an abrupt and premature end, leaving the entire nation in shock. On May 30th, 1987, Honorino Landa passed away at the age of 45 from stomach cancer. His untimely death, at the height of his talent and experience, has become one of the greatest losses in Chilean football history, leaving behind a legacy of a gifted but ill-fated striker. Misael Escuti was the veteran captain in goal for the Chilean national team that year. At 35, when many goalkeepers were preparing for retirement, Escuti stood firm like an impenetrable wall. With 450 minutes of playing time, he made countless incredible saves, especially in the match against the Soviet Union, earning the world's admiration for the sharp reflexes of a seasoned veteran. Misael Escuti's performance at the age of 35 demonstrated a mature character, serving as the sole and the greatest source of hope for the entire Chilean nation during that historic World Cup. Escuti's career was a love song of loyalty to Colo-Colo, where he was celebrated as the club's greatest goalkeeper of all time. After retiring, he didn't leave the pitch but transitioned to coaching and management, always striving to preserve the traditional values of German football. His personal life was a model of elegance and nobility. He lived an upright life, dedicating his love to his family and his career in training the next generation of golden hands. And the connection between his role as a guardian on the field and his real life was one of steadfastness and foresight. While on the field, he was a hero and savior. Off the field, Escuti was a humble man who always put the common good first. However, that glorious journey had to come to an end. On January 3, 1994, Misael Escuti passed away at the age of 67. His legacy was not just trophies, but also the epitome of the demeanor of a great captain, an enduring symbol of courage. Lionel Sanchez was the name that embodied the spirit of Chile in 1962. At the age of 26, he was the most feared striker with 4 goals, winning the Golden Boot Award. With his magical left foot and terrifying goal-scoring ability, he left an indelible mark on fans worldwide. Beyond his goals, Lionel is also remembered for his indomitable spirit. His willingness to retaliate against foul play in the Santiago War against Italy became a symbol of resistance. Lionel Sanchez's performance at the age of 26 brilliantly demonstrated his status as a world-class superstar. Following his success in his homeland, Lionel Sanchez became an immortal icon of Universidad de Chile, dedicating almost his entire career to the club's colors. He held the record for most appearances for the national team for decades. After retiring, Lionel transitioned to coaching and became an ambassador for Chilean football, always appearing with a gentle smile and wise advice for the younger generation. His personal life is a model of fulfillment. He lives in the adoration of the Chilean people and is considered a living national heritage. Most thought-provoking is the connection between the image of a fiery warrior on the field and a kind, quiet man off the field. It seems that the fierce tackles of yesteryear were simply his way of protecting national pride. However, that glorious journey came to a halt after a long battle with illness. On April 2, 2022, Lionel Sanchez passed away at the age of 85. His passing left a huge, irreplaceable void, but his name will forever be remembered as the uncrowned king of Chilean football. Jaime Ramirez was the heart and soul of Chile's attack in 1962, a versatile striker with a modern, forward-thinking style of play. At 30, he brought his seasoned experience and killer instinct with 2 crucial goals in the tournament. He is remembered not only for his dazzling dribbling, but also for his fighting spirit. Like a true warrior, his performance at the age of 30 brilliantly demonstrated the leadership qualities of a seasoned veteran, guiding his younger teammates through the most nail-biting moments against Italy and Switzerland. Jaime's career journey after the World Cup was an epic of transformation. He was one of the first Chilean players to successfully play abroad, competing for several clubs in Spain such as Espanyol and Granada before returning home. Jaime always lived like a free artist, loving the beauty of attacking football and never compromising with pragmatic play. His personal life was a blend of the glory of the pitch and a passion for sports business. He spent many of his final years coaching and sharing his experience with the next generation with an optimistic philosophy. Football is joy, and so is life. Most thought-provoking is the connection between his role as a playmaker on the field and his real life. Jaime always connected generations of players. However, that glorious journey and those adventures came to an abrupt end. On February 26, 2003, Jaime Ramirez passed away at the age of 70 due to heart failure. His death left a huge void in the hearts of fans. But his legacy as a romantic figure on the pitch remains a thought-provoking life story for Chilean football. Sergio Navarro wore the captain's armband in crucial matches. At 26, this fullback embodied discipline and innate leadership. Playing 360 minutes with an iron will, he kept the defense focused and cohesive under the immense pressure of the league. At 26, Sergio Navarro's performances were not only sharp tackles, but also words of encouragement and a solid source of moral support for his younger teammates. Following his glory in 1962, Navarro's career continued to flourish at Universidad de Chile and later at Colo-Colo. He was always revered as a saint of loyalty and professional ethics. After retiring, Sergio Navarro transitioned to coaching and sports management, briefly leading the Chilean national team. His personal life was stable. He lived a respectable life with his family and devoted himself to teaching football in schools. What is noteworthy is the connection between his role as a leader on the field and his real life. That dignified demeanor seemed to have become ingrained in his character, earning him the trust of everyone. Today, at 89, Sergio Navarro is enjoying peaceful days in Santiago, his journey a testament to the tireless efforts and dignity of a true leader, forever a shining example for generations of Chilean players to follow. Armando Tobar at the 1962 World Cup was a quiet but incredibly effective striker, willing to sacrifice his personal glory for the sake of the team's overall play. At the age of 24, he played 360 minutes with tremendous effort, playing a crucial role in drawing opposing defenders away to create space for Lionel Sanchez or Jaime Ramirez to shine. Tobar's performance demonstrated unwavering resilience and an indomitable fighting spirit. He was the unsung hero in the resounding victories against Italy and the Soviet Union. Armando Tobar's post-season career was closely tied to Universidad Católica, where he became one of the club's greatest ever goal scorers, netting hundreds of goals. After retiring, he chose the path of the dedicated coach, spending decades honing the raw talents of Viña del Mar football. Tobar's personal life was a beautiful story of humility. He lived simply with his family and devoted himself to community work. The connection between his role as a silent hero, covering for his teammates on the field, and his real life seemed like a perfect continuation. However, this virtuous journey came to an end after a long illness. On March 4, 2016, Armando Tobar passed away at the age of 77. His passing left a huge void in the hearts of fans who admired the beauty of his quiet dedication, a man who devoted his entire life to football. Alberto Fuiu participated in the 1962 World Cup at the young age of 21, but he quickly showed the qualities of a future superstar. Although he only played 180 minutes due to injury, every moment on the field, Tito Fuiu brought excitement to the audience with his skillful individual technique and intelligent play. He was the type of striker who could change a match with just a delicate touch. Alberto's performance at the age of 21 was a testament to his innate talent, a true artist amidst the fiery atmosphere of the game. Fuiu's career path after 1962 was a series of triumphs at Universidad Católica, and then a move to France to play for Lille. After retiring, he made a spectacular transformation, becoming one of the most distinguished and respected football commentators in Chilean television history. Alberto's personal life was a model of an intellectual football commentator. He lived a brilliant, successful life and always strived to elevate the public's understanding of football. The connection between his role as a football artist and a disseminator of knowledge in real life lay in his subtle insight into the game. However, that intellectual journey came to an end. On June 23, 2018, Alberto Fuiu passed away at the age of 77. His passing was a great loss to the Chilean media and sports community, but the story of a charismatic Tito will forever live on in the hearts of fans as a symbol of intellect and passion. Manuel Rodriguez is a reliable fullback at the age of 24. Despite only playing 180 minutes in official matches, his presence has provided absolute reassurance to the defense whenever given the opportunity. With his solid, focused play and high level of discipline, Manuel has demonstrated the identity of a great player always ready to contribute to the team. He doesn't seek fame through flashy attacking runs, but chooses to protect the flank with the dedication of a seasoned soldier. After the World Cup, Manuel Rodriguez's career became synonymous with loyalty to Unión Española, where he played hundreds of matches and became a club legend. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching and achieved particular success in leading Unión Española to national championships. Manuel's personal life was a peaceful flow. He was known as an exemplary man, living a private life and always showing absolute respect for his profession. The image of a protector on the pitch seemed to perfectly translate into his coaching career. He always shielded and guided his players with profound understanding. However, that glorious and enduring journey came to an end. On September 26, 2018, Manuel Rodriguez passed away at the age of 80. His passing closed the chapter on one of the most dedicated defenders Chilean football has ever produced, leaving behind a legacy of undying loyalty.